Well, guys, I've been wanting to get my hands on one of these for a very long time, ever since they were announced. Has it been over a year, I think? Something like that. I can't remember exactly, but the Hamilton Khaki Navy series diver style watch, but on the more affordable. They have like some higher end ones, but this is the kind of entry level one, if you will. But guess what, guys? My buddy Mimo over at Mimo's Jewelry, I'll put a link in the description, picked up Hamilton, the full line. So if you are looking for a Hamilton, he is now an authorized dealer. He's going to be able to get you the best deal possible from an authorized dealer, I think. And, he's great to deal with. So good shipping and all that good stuff. So you're going to be able to get the full kit. You can see the box over here. It's actually kind of a new, cool box. I'm not sure if all the Hamiltons are going to come in this one or if there's different variations, but really nice looking box. It's not real wood, but it looks cool. I like it. So this is hang tag number h82335131. We're not going to call it that. We're going to call it the Hamilton Khaki Navy. I don't know what else to call it. I'm not sure if there's a nickname for it or anything like that. And I know some people don't really care for the khaki to be on there, but that's what Hamilton did. So that's what we have. Let's talk about the size real quick. I measure a solid 41 millimeter, 50 millimeter lug to lug. You can see it's really finely brushed with semi-turned down lugs. 13 millimeter thick, that's including the slightly domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on it. You can see there's no distortion, so it must be double domed. And then you have a 20 mil lug width here. And the bracelet, it does kind of taper, but like it's very, very nominal. It's not even really noticeable to the naked eye. So, but when I spec it out, it does actually taper like 1/10 of a millimeter or something like that. So solid, really nicely done bracelet. You can see, I don't see any, I didn't take this apart because this is Mimo's brand new watch, so I didn't actually take it apart, but if we can get a look at those pins, it might be a pin and collar. Yeah, it's definitely a pin and collar. You can kind of see them in there, but so I'm guessing it's some sort of pin and collar system, which I'm totally fine with. In many cases, I actually prefer that over a screw link system. You have a screw down crown, although it is only 100 meter water resist. I'm not really sure if they're just underrating what it really is capable of. I'm not really sure on that, but see if I can get a look at the case back here. There's a bunch of printing on the case back here, so I think you got some model numbers, 10 bar, Swiss made, and a bunch of Hamilton and some almost like targeting looking type thing going on there. Solid end links. You can see the center link on the solid end link actually articulates. So that is going to help out a little bit with the comfort level instead of it being fixed, even though it doesn't fold. Well, that link folds over completely flat, so I think you're going to get some good comfort out of that. But just having that link even articulate and then allow it to clear and do that, I think is partly why it's going to be so comfortable. Bunch of polished edges, beveling. You can actually see a little bit of light in between the links, so that's also going to help with comfort and keep it aired out a little bit. So really good case shape. I'm overall pleased with the design. It looks like an aluminum, printed on aluminum bezel trim there. Applied indices, applied logo, and then you have the printing of the Hamilton, the khaki automatic, and then the 24-hour register on the inside there, of course, with the Swiss made and the minute second track going around the outside there is also printed. The rest of it's all applied. Nice beveling and on the cutout window for the date, kind of in between the 4 and 5 there. Red, a little bit of orange tint to it, but mostly red. I think on the tip of that seconds hand looks good. Nice hand set. Nothing upsetting the balance here at all. So also has a signed crown. I think overall good watch. 60 click bezel, unidirectional. It's probably the most audible 60 click bezel I've checked out before. There's no way you're going to be able to get away with clicking this bad boy in a meeting when somebody's talking. This is not going to be your fidget spinner at all. This will draw attention to you. So, but it is solid, it is precise, there's very nominal, there's a little bit of play there, nothing to really get upset about. So, all milled out clasp and buckle here. So, 2 micro adjust, so you do not have an abundant of micro adjust, but really nicely done clasp and signed. Like I said, I'm not going to peel all that stuff off because this is Mimo's inventory. This watch might be the watch you buy. Speaking of buying, it is the price tag of $745. That is the suggested retail. But if you use the discount code of ROB25, you will get 25% off. And if my math is even remotely correct, it lands right around $560. That definitely puts it in play. It's close to that $500 mark. I'm sure you can probably find them cheaper. I'm sure you can find them more expensive. But you got to remember, Mimo's an authorized dealer. So there's a difference between buying like gray market or like heavily discounted outlets and stuff like that versus buying an authorized dealer. You're going to have a lot more support after the sale if it's needed. So the movement in this guy, pretty much across the board on Hamilton's lineup, I think is going to be more of those new H series movement. This has the H10 in it, which has an 80-hour power reserve. Gives it a little bit slower tick on the seconds hand there, but it still has a nice sweep to it. So let me pop this guy on wrist so you can see what it looks like on my 7 1/4. Remember, it's not sized, so it might flop around a bit. But yeah, absolutely premium size. Even with that longer lug to lug, it just fits and feels great. Has a nice little weight to it. It is not, I don't want to say, it's not like heavy or anything like that, but it definitely has a nice solid feel to it. It feels like it's well constructed, because it is. I mean, Hamilton is, they make great watches for affordable prices. I kind of almost think it's almost like the, kind of how Seiko is to the, the Asian watch market. I feel like Hamilton is to the Swiss watch market, if that makes sense. They seem like a really good value proposition and a go-to brand for their entire lineup. They have entry-level ones from the lower cost, sub 500, and then they certainly go much higher, and they have like crazy amount of, they have a huge catalog. Definitely check out Hamilton's catalog. Mimo's going to carry a small portion, but he's an authorized dealer, so like if there's something you want him to get for you, send him an email, hit him up. I'm sure he can get it for you and probably give you a little bit of a discount too. So I'm going to close you guys out with a lume shot. I was wearing my custom built SKX, so you can see there for size comparison, very similar in size. This one's a little bit smaller case-wise, but a little bit longer on the lug-to-lug, and they both, comfort-wise, are very similar. I will say the Hamilton, even the SKX with the Angus Jubilee, the Hamilton is slightly heavier, but keep in mind that there's definitely some links that need to be pulled out of the Hamilton, but I can almost feel like in the case construction itself, it feels like it's more solid than, say, this SKX build. But anyway, guys, let me close you out with a lume shot here. Big thanks to Mimo for lending this guy in. You can see there, I think you're seeing a little bit more vibrant blue than I'm seeing, but it definitely is some sort of BGW9 lume that they're using. And I'm happy to see that the lume is, well, there is lume, first of all. Typically, we're, faced with Hamilton's lack of lume, we'll put it nicely. So this one definitely has lume, and it seems like it's staying pretty good. So it'd be nice if they were to continue this trend, like on this watch, on their whole lineup, especially in some of their field watches. I personally would like to see a little more lume on some watches. This is adequate. This works for me. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next vid.